So how you doing?
I'm good. I'm great, actually. Week 3, feeling good.
Yeah, yeah. So how did that go? So week three officially ended on Thursday. So yeah, that's that week three. What yeah. Anything happen? Any challenges?
No, it's kind of unfortunate because I haven't had a chance to really do much exploring in Halifax because, things have kind of gone. So unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to do any of the mocktail stuff, which I'm disappointed about, but I think this is the beginning of something really great. So I foresee myself going on some mocktail adventures once we're able to do so.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
other than
definitely.
that, I feel good. I mean,
Good.
it's tough because we're stuck at home again and we're in a lockdown, but it's also not tough because I'm not seeing people or being as nearly as social as I
Mhm.
normally would be, where I think there'd be more tempting opportunities.
Yep. Oh, totally. Yeah, like silver lining, I guess for that. And I went out to Seamus Davis pub on Thursday. Like we
You
found
did.
out that morning, and then that night I went out for wings with some friends, and it was great. But then we were like, it had this eerie feeling of like they shut down at 9, and then that was it. They were like, okay, well, so we gave great tips because we were like, I mean, it's going to be really crappy for servers and all those people who rely on that. So yeah, it was bittersweet that, I mean, at least we got to go out one last time before I mean, I don't know, a few months down the road, but yeah, it was a little weird, and now it's super strange to be back inside again. And but what do
I
you do?
know, but what can you do? It's the great part is that we're living in a part of the country where they're taking this as, not to segue off, but they're taking it as seriously as it should be taken. Friends of mine who live in other parts of the country have said, 35 cases and they shut down the city. Like they
Yep.
wish they lived somewhere where people took things as seriously. So I will say the biggest thing that I've noticed is in these stressful times, there'll be moments where I don't have that relaxation idea of like having a glass of wine or just chilling out. But I also have not had any of the like, you wake up the next morning and you feel so crap, and that makes all the darkness in the world seem so much worse. I haven't
Hmm.
had that feeling either, and that has been so lovely.
Wow. Yeah, I guess, so you think that if you weren't doing this like month off of no alcohol, you probably would have felt that way a few times, eh?
Hangovers for me, especially as I've gotten into my 30s, always got more painful. And like the blues hit me really hard. And as much as, I would go out and be social and it would be fun, yeah, I would kind of have the regrets the next morning. Then you mix in, my God, where did I go? Did I see too many people when I was under the influence? Did I get too close? Not social distance. Like there's so much more. Like everything feels so heady right now that the last thing I need is moments of cloudiness where I worry about whether or not I'm making the responsible decisions to keep myself and my community safe, then waking up the next morning and being hungover and having the worries on top of that. It's been a feeling that I haven't experienced this month and have really enjoyed.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. And that makes a lot of sense because if I was still drinking during this pandemic, and I think a lot of people would probably just say the same because like all your inhibitions are gone and you're like, I don't care. You'll get all close to people and like, I don't need this mask, and you feel invincible when you're drunk. Totally, I never even thought of that. That just gets rid of that whole thing because you don't get drunk during the pandemic or during this time, during this scary third wave. And also too, you would think that, well, I mean, that's the usual thing to go to when you're stressed out, that you want to drink to make it like go away for the night or whatever. But you're right, it can make things worse. Of course, the next day feeling like shit, but it can make things worse in the moment too, because sure, you're like forgetting all your problems, but they're still there, so it can make you feel more panicked, but then like drunk and panicked at the same time. And no, thank you. Yeah.
Well, and it's just funny because I'm such a physically affectionate person. I've always been that way, grew up in that kind of family. So it's hard for me to not naturally be that way. And it's the way we can't be right now. And I have to be so extra conscious of that because that's how I naturally am. So I really don't want to let my guard down. And that
Yes.
is what happens. So I find it's really been great that I'm so in here all the time, very clear headed, very, singularly focused on the goal of just keeping the community safe right now.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's I never even really thought of it from that angle, but of course, yeah, that makes the most sense. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so I'm
So
feeling good.
good. Yeah, so I was gonna ask, like, how is energy levels and mood and sleep and all that kind of stuff?
Better every day. It's actually amazing how that kind of works. Like I've gotten back into a really strong workout routine, which sucks because the gyms are closed.
I
But
know.
I got a big apartment with lots of space, so I can come up with the ideas, and there's lots of resources out there, so that's not the end of the world. But no, I feel good. Like sleep is more consistent, because alcohol never helped me sleep. I was always jealous of people who would go to bed at 2 or 3 and wake up at 1. I was at 8. I was like, bing, like
Oh
just,
my God.
oh, the worst,
That
the
sucks.
worst.
And like you feel like you're getting a solid sleep, but you're really not because alcohol makes it so that you don't go into as many deep sleep cycles. So like you'll wake up feeling like trash because there was poison in your body, but also because you didn't have as many deep sleep cycles. So like, man, that
Yeah,
really does a number on you.
yeah, it does. And you know what? I think, and we've kind of talked about this before, and for people who are maybe new or just kind of getting back, into this conversation, I decided to take this break, not because I feel like I have problematic drinking, but just because I love challenges and I've got some free time right now. And I thought, why the hell not? And I could be more active and present and be aware of, kind of how I'm feeling and the difference. When I think the month is done, I think I'll have, more normal back to hanging out with people, social drinking. But I think the awareness of how much of a difference it can make to take breaks like this, and it's almost like a little reset, has been the biggest pleasure and difference that I've certainly noted in the past almost month.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. And I mean, it's a good place to start for anyone, really anywhere on the spectrum of like the lower end of the spectrum being, don't have a problem with alcohol at all, just want to, take a break every once in a while, up to the other end of the spectrum where like they have serious issues with it and addiction issues. And I think, of course, on the extreme end of the spectrum, it wouldn't be good to just stop drinking all of a sudden. So, I mean, if you feel like you're one of those people, anyone watching, reach out to a medical professional because we are not those.
Oh
Um,
God, no.
no, I am
We can,
not.
you don't know us, but we can barely keep ourselves alive.
Yeah,
So we're not giving
exactly.
anybody advice.
Yes. Yeah. So for anywhere in between, it's a good idea to do like the month off just to feel it out. And it can
Definitely.
answer a lot of questions. So I say do it for everybody. It's a
You
good
can
idea.
do it.
Yes. Yeah, you can, right? Like it's not that hard. I mean, you have 1 week left. So really, I mean, it's all sounds really good all around. Which leads me to my next question. Saturday coming up, it's Monday now, so Saturday coming up will be your first day where you're no longer on the month off. So do you have any plans or are you going to ease into it? What's happening?
I have no plans because the world is crazy right now. I might see if some friends want to get together, but I've got my like 4 people, because right now we're in max 5 groups of people, including yourself. So I've got a couple of friends who are also, I know, who are very careful, really follow the rules. Pardon me, that I feel comfortable going to see and spend time with. So it might be like a little celebratory, like, I did it. But no, nothing
Yeah,
too crazy right now because
good.
I just don't feel like with everything else happening in the world that it's going to help me to go from this to like right off into the deep end.
Yeah,
I just
I
don't think I
agree.
want to.
Good, because that's another side effect that I've seen from other people where at the beginning they're like, "Oh, I can't wait. I'm gonna get loaded as soon as this is over." But then as they go through it and they're nearing the end, they're like, "Well, no, maybe not. Maybe I'll take it easy, or maybe I'll just do another week of dry. Who knows?" So it's funny how you can change your perception as the month goes on. So yeah, that's good
Yeah.
because yeah, there's really no need to just jump right back into it. And I always advise that you probably should like ease into it because your tolerance might go down a little bit, so you might notice
Yeah,
a
I believe it.
difference.
Yep.
Probably, right? I would imagine. So yeah, like I mean, just feel it out when you do is what I would suggest. So other than that update, did you have something in the mail that came? I'm so excited. That's so cool. That's a
I
big box.
know. You can tell from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, too many
This is
jokes.
from
Okay. So I
Sexy
wanted to find,
AF.
so this is a lovely package from Sober AF Spirits. Sexy AF Spirits. Sorry, that's what they're
Yes.
called, Sexy AF.
Yeah.
Big shout out to them. They sent me this awesome box, and it's full of non-alcoholic alcohol.
That's so
So
cool.
I know, how neat is that? So I haven't even opened this up yet. I just ripped open the box so I didn't have to ASMR it. But let's check out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bottles in here.
Wow.
So we'll start with this one. It's called Frisky Whiskey Premium Alcohol-Free Spirits.
Okay.
How cute is that?
That's so interesting.
Yeah, so it says 100% alcohol-free, allergen-free, gluten, plant-based, sugar-free, kosher, and vegan.
Okay.
How cool is that?
That's
Okay,
awesome.
so there's Frisky Whiskey.
Okay.
There's Virgin.
Gin. Oh.
How cute is that?
Okay. So that's pine needles. Okay.
Yeah, there's Triple Sexy.
Okay.
Ooh, I love the colors too. They're so pretty.
Yeah. Does it look like there's any kind of like is it all fully mixed? Does it look like you have to shake it?
Yeah, I think you have to give them a little bit of a shake on the back. It
Oh,
says here, they said they could, oh yeah, natural botanical sediment may occur, stored in a cool, dry place, shake well and enjoy.
okay, cool. I like that. It feels more
And
real.
Aperitifs. These are so
Okay.
cute. I have such a soft spot for punny names.
Cool.
Look
Yeah.
how beautiful that color is.
Yeah, I like that.
Ah, lovely. And
Cool.
a little one, last but not least, Amaro.
Oh, that must be what is that like almondy,
Yeah, must be.
right? Yeah.
So hold on.
That's so cool. I gotta do a screenshot of
Yay!
this. Yay! There you go. I'll take a screenshot.
Delicious.
This is
Thanks,
gonna be the
guys.
thumbnail.
This is awesome. Thank you, Sexy AF Spirits. I cannot wait
Yes.
to make a home mocktail with my last week.
For real.
How
Yeah.
cool
And
is
then
that?
going forward, like you can bring one of those bad boys to a party and still feel like you're like partying, even though you're not
Totally.
drunk,
You know what? And I think that's been the one thing that I've missed, and I'm excited because it also comes with this little book of cocktail recipes.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I'm excited because that's been the only thing. And now, granted, I haven't actually been doing much socializing, but I could see, and I'm sure you could speak to this more, because I know you love going on exploring mocktails and trying things and educating people, because you do feel a little like, oh, when everyone's like,
Yeah.
this, mixing stuff and making cool drinks, and you kind of feel a little left out.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. They're like, here, you want this old turnip I found in a cupboard? Like, excuse me. Like, I like fancy things too.
Yeah, I want something that you mix and shake and then put in a
Yeah.
glass.
Yeah, and some people really like the connoisseurness of it, and they miss that aspect when, no more like trying different flavors and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like non-alcoholic spirits like Sexy AF can give you that like creativity back. And this is not sponsored, by the way. They're just nice enough to send it to Allie.
Yeah, they were just like, we talked about wanting to try mocktails, and then they were in our live stream and were so sweet and just sent this to us. So this was just out of the kindness of their lovely sober hearts.
Yeah, it's awesome. And they're in Alberta too. So it's like
they're in Calgary.
Yes, where I used to live. I love that. I miss Calgary so much. Oh my God. That's so exciting.
I want to try this one, especially for gin, because I'm a gin girl.
Oh yeah.
So I'm really excited to give that a try.
I'm so curious. I've never had in my life a non-alcoholic like spirit like that, and I don't think I ever would. It'd be too triggering for me, but
I was gonna ask.
Oh yeah, definitely it would be. So I'm so curious. I just want to hear what it's like from other people. So you tell me what it's like, and I won't have to have it. So.
I will. And then you know what? How about for our celebration of the last week, because we have our kind of last video, I'll give these a try throughout the week, maybe like once a day. I'll try a taste test and let people know what they're like. And then I'll pick a mocktail and I'll make it for the last video that we do.
Okay, I like that.
Nope.
Yes.
It's great.
Yeah.
One more week to go.
I know. Yeah. So yeah, to wrap this up, like, do you have like, I guess, what are you excited for in the last week, or anything that's going to come up that you might be worried about, or anything like that?
Nothing that I'm worried about. Like I said, it's hard because the world is just not normal right now. To feel like if things were happening, if it was a normal spring, almost summer in Halifax, I think it would be harder for me. But it hasn't been. But it is really nice to have these kinds of check-ins. And I would say to anybody who is considering something like this, you don't have to do this to have somebody to check in with, because there is something really grounding and makes you feel like you're part of a community when you have someone who's further along in their journey that can be like a guide for you, you know?
Yeah.
So I would say if this has inspired somebody else to try to do the same thing, do what we're doing. It doesn't have to be public like this. Obviously, this is just because this is who we are, but put yourself out there, talk to somebody, because like I really enjoyed that, and it's fun to have somebody to check in and to cheer you on.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the option, I mean, if anyone does want to reach out and be like, do you want to do a little video series like this? Maybe, I don't know, you and your wife or husband want to get together and do a team effort or whatever. Reach out to me, because we could do a little little YouTube series with you too. Or next level down on on Facebook, Sober City Halifax chat. It's a private group, so you can reach out and find new friends there. I mean, pretty much everyone in there is from Nova Scotia for the most part. And so that's another way to make another buddy to go through this with. Or yeah, just reach out to supportive friends in your life and be like, hey, let's do a month off. Because yeah, it's really good to have that support. And it's sort of fun to like keep going with somebody else and chat with them about it. Yeah,
no, it's been great. I'm excited for the next week, and I'm excited to try some of these.
Me too. You have to text me immediately. I need to know how delicious that is, because they can't.
I'm on it.
Yes, awesome. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, that's it for this week 3 check-in, and I'll be seeing you on Thursday for the wrap-up.
Oh my gosh! Wow, crazy.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Well, have a good week.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
See ya.
Please right now, because mine's upwards.
So is mine.
Okay, switch it to the side for a second. We're gonna do a.
Oh, yours is to the side. Oh.